Now, this was a slow pitch in Bangalore, but Hazlewood still not only managed to extract some swing of it, he also got the length picture perfect from the word go. He then came on to bowl again in the fifth over, and this time around had Rishabh Pant trying to do Pant things, as we all know. LSG unfortunately continue to make a hash of it with their batting. They need someone in the middle order to take more control than what Abdul Samad has done so far. I've also spoken about where it turned in favour of CSK in the game against KKR, the fifth and the sixth over, which had barely gone for anything. Coincidentally, RCB restricted Lucknow to just 3 runs of those 2 overs in the power play, the last 2 overs. They went from 32 in the first 4 to only 35 at the end of the power play. When Aiden Markram got out the way he did, I thought to myself, that would go down as one of the top 5 bizarre dismissals this IPL. Not just right now anyway, and he seems a little anachronistic, quite old-fashioned to his approach to 220 cricket as compared to the power hitting of today. But here's the thing, his overall T20 and IPL strike rate stands at tad around 140, what 140 it is, and this is excellent stuff from a non-opener middle order batter, and he It's difficult not to bring up a comparison between what Josh Hazlewood and company did at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium and the Kolkata Knight Riders seamers bowling at Chepauk the night before. Now, Hazlewood is a champion bowler, so I might be comparing apples and oranges here, but without looking at the names and comparing what was actually dished out on the field, Hazlewood bowled the second over of the game and had the bowlers hopping and groping for the ball from the very beginning. Now, this was a slow pitch in Bangalore, but Hazlewood still not only managed to extract some swing of it, he also got the length picture perfect from the word go. He then came on to bowl again in the fifth over, and this time around had Rishabh Pant trying to do Pant things, as we all know, but failing every single time. Pant was soon forced to retire of one that hit his arm, and he really struggled with that pain. But he was gone, and then came Nicholas Puran, who probably hadn't learned too much from watching Pant attempt all his pull shots, and he got one inside edge. It was, in a way, he was fortunate that he did not hit his arm like had for Pant. Unfortunately for him, the inside edge rolled back onto the stumps and he was bowled. Now, on the other hand, and I said I'll be comparing here, the KKR bowlers looked to be extracting enough movement early in that innings against CSK. But as I mentioned even yesterday, came nowhere close to bowling the lengths they had to. Vaibhav Arora was either too full or short enough to get swatted by Samson's open stance. I'd also spoken about where it turned in favour of CSK in the game against KKR, the fifth and the sixth over, which had barely gone for anything. Coincidentally, RCB restricted Lucknow to just 3 runs of those 2 overs in the power play, the last 2 overs. They went from 32 in the first 4 to only 35 at the end of the power play, becoming one of the reasons for the momentum turnaround again. So we'll have to keep a note on those overs number 4, 5, and 6 and how they go for the rest of the teams. Now, coming back to Hazlewood, and he looks to have developed a faster ball. Technically, it's not a faster ball. He bowls it at his normal pace, but the load up to the bowling crease is with a cross seam, like he's about to deliver a slower one. And he actually shows the batsman that he is loading up with that. But for now, more often than not, it comes out of his hand at his normal pace. And this will become a lot more potent, I think, when Hazlewood starts mixing it up with some real slower balls as well. Talking about Lucknow, the only batter in the LSG side who looked anywhere close to leading a comfortable life at the crease was Ayush Badoni. Hazlewood went for 2 fours in his entire spell, and one of them was a punch through covers for Badoni to get off the mark first ball. He finished for 38 of 24 and hardly played a false shot in comparison with what the rest of his teammates did in that game, and understandably on that pitch. Badoni doesn't have a power game per se, not like how some of the Bangalore batsmen had, not just right now anyway. And he seems a little anachronistic, quite old-fashioned to his approach to 220 cricket as compared to the power hitting of today. But here's the thing, his overall T20 and IPL strike rate stands at tad around 140, what 140 it is. And this is excellent stuff from a non-opener middle order batter. And he'll always find a place in one or the other team as long as he continues playing the way he has. But I would like to go a little forward here, go a little beyond T20 cricket. He has 1700 runs in Ranji Trophy or in domestic cricket in 22 matches at an average of 65 on pitches which are generally moving towards being seamer friendly in domestic cricket. He's played He played only 4 Ranji matches for Delhi last season, having made the India A squad for the T20 warm-up games, and has also been called up in the India squad for their home ODI series against New Zealand as a replacement for the injured Washington Sundar. Now, whatever I have seen of Badoni this year and the previous seasons, he looks to be a player tailor-made to bat in 50-over cricket, somewhere at 5 or 6. He can also bowl offies too, has nearly 60 domestic wickets, but is primarily a classy-looking batter who can bowl every now and then. Badoni will have competition, obviously, for that place in the ODI squad from a few others. That's Rinku Singh, Sundar himself, say Riyan Parag at some stage, once he regains his run-scoring capability. But I'm quite sure that the selectors will have Badoni in their mind and will continue to keep a close eye on him. When Aiden Markram got out the way he did, I thought to myself, that would go down as one of the top 5 bizarre dismissals this IPL. I think that the Nicholas Purant run out when he nicked the ball and he started running with the keeper very close to him was probably number one, will probably remain a number one for a long time. And again, a Purant dismissal where he got bowled off a slower ball from Ngidi would be in the top 5 as well. But if you remember any other such dismissals, let me know. But yes, coming back to that Markram dismissal of a full toss outside the leg stump. Now, it's bizarre enough to get out to a full toss outside the leg stump, but caught in the covers, that makes it bizarre in more ways than one. First, obviously, it's a rare thing to see, to get out to a ball outside the leg stump, getting caught on the offside. But even at times, there are times when batters get leading edges. It is usually of those that have bounced off the pitch, where they have been deceived by the lack of bounce or pace of the surface. In this case, Markram had patted a full toss to the offside. So all the way around, it was quite bizarre. Now, LSG, unfortunately, continue to make a hash of it with their batting. They need someone in the middle order to take more control than what Abdul Samad has done so far. I have a feeling he might have even been replaced, but now Rishabh Pant's arm injury has only added to their woes. And if he misses on a few games, I don't know what the scene is like. That weakens the middle order even more drastically. Now, assuming Nicky Purant will jump up to number 3, they would need at least 1, if not 2 replacements. And I'm probably jumping the gun here a little, but guys like Akshat Raghuvanshi and Himmat Singh might be itching to get that chance. Himmat has played thrice before, but has never batted. So yeah, a first for either or both of them in the matches to come. Of course, a lot can change if Marsh, Markram and Purant, either or, get going with the bat, something that they haven't really done this season so far. I mean, there has been innings from Pant, there has been a match-winning innings from Mukul Chaudhary, but not really from either of the 3. And lastly, a word on Rajat Patidar's batting. Now, he did not score a lot, but it's the way he's hitting them. It reminds me of Ricky Ponting from the 2003 era, when his batting had reached a level that was so amazing that people had started questioning if his bat had a spring in it. Patidar's bat might not have any springs in them, but the way the ball is going off his willow, it's definitely added a spring to his and his team's stride. Bye-bye.